to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:02, and we are live on the Lock Shop. Thank you very much for being here. As always, the Lock Shop brought to you by our partners over at Play Alberta. We got Tecmo action underway in the office right now. Trying to keep tabs on it, but it's pretty pathetic watching Uke play. Did he get a touchdown there? I can't tell if he got a touchdown. No, he had to settle for a field goal. UConn is just, he's played for years, and he just still sucks. I just don't understand it. Anyway, Chiefs and Eagles right now over on twitch.tv/Yeg Sports Talk. Boys are playing, and oh boy, you just picked that play. We'll see. Hernan will be in shambles if he loses to Uke. So that's something funny to kind of keep tabs on as we work our way through the show. Today we got our EST specials already up. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Sheesh edits over the thing, says, geez, the EST office, I'm watching Tecmo game on Twitch, and all I can see is guys hugging and giving shoulder massages. What kind of office is this? It's a very friendly office. People are very supportive of each other. And I see, if you go watch on Tecmo right now, you can see Ben and Zach playing 21 in behind Hernan and Uke. I haven't played Zach in 21 in a long time. Anyway, we got a 6-6 tie between the Eagles and Chiefs second quarter over on Twitch right now if you want to keep tabs on that. Our EST specials that we've got locked and loaded so far for today. Let's take a little peek here. I did get yesterday, of course, we locked in Dusty's play of the day, which was the BC Lions, just to get on it earlier in the week at +6.5. That line's already moved to 6. I would expect it to probably move a little bit further. Right now, our EST specials we've got up. Jay's play of the day. That is the Elks +9.5 on the road on Thursday. Early bird bet of the day today. Toronto Blue Jays to win and Barger with a hit. That's +157. And then Dusty's play of the day, which I just threw out on Twitter. It's already up as well at +102. Cal Raleigh with an RBI tonight. He's got 14 in his last 6 games. He's on absolute heater right now. Raleigh with a RBI +102. If you've not yet downloaded the Play Alberta app, please do. And use the code EST Sports. And you deposit $20, you get a $50 free bet. Use the code YEG50 if you haven't already. Deposit $5 and get a $50 free bet there as well. And when you go to playalberta.ca, you'll see us right on the left side there. Odds boosts, daily specials, then EST specials, then MLB and the CFL getting love right now. Well, the BC Lions line has moved back to 6.5, which is kind of interesting. And download the app if you haven't already. All right, let's bring in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk as they continue to get ready for a Bombers game on Thursday against Edmonton, and then obviously NHL draft action a little bit later on in the week. NBA draft is just around the corner. It's draft season. Do you prefer draft or free agency day, Huss?
I think draft.
Yeah.
I'm a draft guy. We're draft guys. Come on. We love drafts.
We love drafts. We've been at a bunch of drafts. The draft is the best. Now, this year it's decentralized, so it'll be a little bit different. But there was nothing. There was nothing like it. We met
at the draft for all intents and purposes. Of course, the infamous Dubois, Puljujarvi, Laine, Matthews draft.
Was that in Chicago?
That was in Chicago.
Yes.
And I also remember going out with Dusty late, then him managing to make his show happen, seeing him on the trade-off, and then hearing for the first time him order the loaded double meat Jimmy John subs with no veggies.
Oh, so good.
And at that point, I knew I was dealing with a different cat. But it was like the perfect saying for this is, you ain't right, but you're all right. And that was
was that the first time we met? Was that Chicago draft?
I don't know. We maybe met before the draft,
but that was the first time we hung out.
Beside each other, and then we were out at night.
But that Chicago draft, the Chicago draft, buddy. The Friday morning after the Chicago draft on Thursday nights, the only time I was ever been late for a show in the history of 15 years.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I figured I would allow you.
I'll never forget it. I've said it on the Nielson show a couple of times. I remember when we're out, and then I remember waking up, and the show was supposed to start at 7:00 Chicago time, I think. Or what is Chicago? Is it Eastern or Central?
Like Winnipeg.
So it's the same as Winnipeg.
Central.
Yeah. So it was supposed to start at 7:00 Chicago time. I remember waking up at like 7:25 Chicago time, and I'm laying in a bed, and in my one hand I've got like half a Kit Kat bar, and then laying next to me in the bed is a Chicago deep dish pizza, and I'm still in my suit from like the draft the night before. I woke up, I was like, oh no. So, and I was staying not where we were broadcasting from. So I had to run to that hotel where we were all broadcasting in that room, and I couldn't get in because I was the first one there. And then I remember between breaks, like laying across chairs, trying to get, so that's where it all started. That was after a first night hanging out with you. Hey, us, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, you know what? The story checks out. And then I remember coming in as you were finishing. There was a trade. I had to go and do some stuff on the day show, and we were all sort of in the same spot where the remote stations were. And then you making the Jimmy John's order, and then moving on, and then we were all back at it, making things happen that night with the picks, and
day 2 of the draft.
We went from there. Hey, just a total aside, but I was just perusing something. Have you been cracking any packs lately?
I did a break on Sunday night.
Really?
I fired up. I fired up like a weekly break in the CFL off season, and then I was home last Sunday, so I did another break. I'm going to try to keep them going through the CFL season. I just did I did 6 boxes of Upper Deck Extended Series because they've got that Ovechkin card. There's 8 of them, and it's like numbered 1 through 8 of him scoring the goal that set the new record.
Wow.
So it's like a Willy Wonka golden ticket type of thing. And I believe 1 has been pulled so far. So we did 6 boxes of that on Sunday night. We didn't get one. I'm thinking of doing a box of the Cup, which is that insanely expensive stuff. That's the one where I put on the gloves and like it's really fancy. Yeah. So I think I might do one of those here coming up. But yeah, I just love cracking so much. I want to kind of keep her going. And then we got new CFL product coming out. I believe in about a month, just over a month from now. So like Upper Deck, like the new series 2025 CFL, and then SP Game Used CFL comes out in October, I think. So I'll be doing a few CFL breaks too, because I only need 9 guys for a CFL break. So it feels like insanely quickly. So
let me know. Let me keep me posted on that. I guess because I'm not a Facebook guy, I don't know how the crack pack is working. But
the new office has a little room at the back that could be a crack pack room. Just saying.
Crack room.
There could be we could have a crack den.
You got to make sure you describe to people what that is. Oh yeah, there's the crack room.
Yeah, that's a crack den back there. That's where we do all of our crack. Den. I don't know if that'll work out pretty well. But yeah, there's next time you come to town, man, we'll have to go show you the new office. I was over there chatting with some people about some furniture and stuff. But there's a back room that we're probably going to use for like audio production, like secondary sort of podcast backup studio. But it could also be a crack den if I needed it to be.
Good. That can be the WST auxiliary office.
But that's what it would be, because you know what we're doing? We're throwing a green screen on the one wall in there. So like when we're doing hits on other shows, or if we have another show that comes in, you just throw something up, and then there we go.
Awesome idea, and congrats on the new spot. So you're still in the old spot right now?
Yeah, we're in the old spot. We have I got the keys to the new spot. And I kind of just negotiated in our rent over there won't start till August 1st, but I wanted an early possession. So we have like 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks to sort of slow move over if we want. But we've been looking around here. I mean, if I take one pickup truck load every day on my way home, I can take quite a bit of stuff over a week. And then it's really just the 2 studios, couch, couple of desks. There's 10 guys here. Like it won't take us long to bang out a move when we do decide to do it. So we're going to get a few of the walls wrapped, like we got these ones wrapped, and then got to get the internet set up over there. And then after that, we can pretty much flip overnight if we wanted. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
But hey, the reason why I asked you about the crack pack, I was just reminded of that. Shout out to legendary Avco Cup winning Winnipeg Jets goaltender Joe Daly, who Joe has a sports cards and framing spot here in Winnipeg.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts? I'm curious.
It is just out of downtown into St. So, like, if you're coming from the ENC onto Main Street,
okay,
you would just keep going straight as opposed to turning down Donald to go to the stadium.
Okay.
You go over the bridge into St. Vital. Yeah. And it's just up there. I hear something just happened.
I think UConn, I don't know what happened. Just a sack? That was a pretty much overreaction for just a sack. Hey. Turnover on downs. Oh, okay, that is big. Turnover on downs.
It's turnovers. Turnovers will kill you. But anyways, the reason why I bring up Joe is that I'm just looking at this tweet from them, and you Oiler fans will love this. Absolute monster pull in store today. 2015 OPC Platinum Connor McDavid rookie auto seismic gold number to 25.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see that.
That is a big hit. Look at that. Love it.
So and the Earl of Eli, Dan, who's often in Dan.
I talked to Dan. He was in town a couple of weeks ago at the card show.
He responded, "Damn, I was looking at that box the last time I was there."
No, Dan, you should have got it. This is why anytime you go to a card store, buy whatever you look at, just in case something like this happens.
What do you think? What do you think? A number to 25 rookie auto of McDavid.
Okay, let me just see here. You said it was OPC Platinum?
Where are we at right now in just McDavid card prices?
OPC Platinum, McDavid, 2015 gold seismic.
Yeah.
Auto out of 25. Let me just see if there's anything like that on. Okay, well, here's one right here, man. 16-7. Is it 16-17? Let me see 15, that card again. 16. Put it back up to the screen. I just want to see it. I want to see because I'm looking at. Okay, so so here's a comparison. So that's the 15-16. That's his rookie year, right? So that's the rookie. So I'm looking right now at his second year OPC Platinum, seismic gold numbered out of 50, PSA 10, not autographed. It's listed on eBay for $5,500. So like that card that they pulled last night is that's a big card. That's a big time card. That's probably over $10,000 card, I think.
I would bet. I mean, if the second year is over 5, the rookie year auto number to 25. Those things. I'm sure there's some people in Edmonton, many of your listeners, many nasties that are probably sitting on some pretty nice McDavid stuff from.
Okay, here's one. Here's this is the 15-16 OPC Platinum. It's the same card. Rookie auto Connor McDavid. It doesn't look like it's the gold seismic though, and it's listed at 4,000 Canadian. So gold seismic could take it to another level because it's numbered, but just a regular one that's autoed is listed at $4,000. So it's a big card.
That's gonna have to get that sucker graded.
Yeah, that's a massive card. I've got, you know what? It was weird. There was a stretch when I first started to get back into cards where I was buying. Now I mostly just do breaks, and then I'll buy like the odd card I want. I was in at Wayne's last week picking up those 6 boxes of extended series, and I saw you had a Doug Flutie Chicago Bears rookie in there. So I was like, well, I have to buy that because I'm a big Flutie guy. So, I'll buy things like that. I'll buy the odd LeBron card. Like when I went to the card show in Edmonton a couple weeks ago, found a couple nice LeBrons. They're tough to find. So I like doing that type of stuff. But back when I first sort of got back into it, I was buying boxes like crazy. And over about a 4-month stretch, I pulled a Wayne Gretzky auto numbered out of 10, and then 2 Connor McDavid autos numbered out of 10. Like, it was insane. And I haven't pulled anything remotely close since. But there was a 4-month stretch. I've got 2 Connor McDavid autos numbered out of 10 and a Gretzky on the Kings numbered out of 10. But still, I just thought it was easy. I was like, oh, you just pull these monsters all the time. And then I haven't had anything even remotely close to that since. But yeah, 2 McDavid autos out of 10 I have.
You're the guy that goes to the casino the first time, hits a jackpot on a slot, comes back the next weekend, does it again, and then just then just builds a new financial plan over a weekly trip to the casino where you 25x your money every time you roll in.
Yeah, I've got lots of my future financial plans basically based on collecting cards as I get older and older. So, yeah, it's not as ridiculous as your grocery store appearances every 7 months. But I said to Tam the other day, I went because I was at that card show, I bought a couple of LeBrons, and then I bought 5 Jaden Daniels rookies. And I bring them home. I'm like, check it out, Jaden Daniels. And she's like, oh, the new investment? I said, well, the Trevor Lawrence thing hasn't worked out great just yet, but give him time. Give him time, new coach. Let's see finally what happens with Trevor Lawrence. But, yeah, so Jaden Daniels is now going to be that guy because he helped me win the Spite League. So I feel like I need to invest in him.
What were the Daniels? How much were those?
It was the Donruss Optic ungraded. The guy wanted 3 of them. Well, what did he want? He wanted 75 for 3. I ended up getting 70. I gave him 75 for 4 of them. So this is what I said. I've revealed this. I think you'll appreciate this on my show the next day. I said so on my TikTok and like on my YouTube feed, like when you're scrolling, I have a lot of guys at card shows like negotiating deals. It just keeps popping up. It's like 10,000 card deal. And then I watch and they're like, well, will you do 11? Like, so bartering. And I never barter ever. But this time I went to the show and I actually bartered a little bit. I was like, can you do, 175 on this LeBron? He's like, oh, it's listed. He wanted like 225 for it. It's like, he goes, I could do 190. I was like, done, let's go. So it was fun. It was a rush. So I told Tam, I said, Tam, when you get working back full time and, maybe things slow down for me in like 10 years, I'm just going to be guy who goes to card show and negotiates card deals and tries to flip them, and we'll make a living that way. And she doesn't really believe in it, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Maybe you could become an autograph hound too. You could just be one of those guys.
I definitely won't be that guy.
And beside the team bus with the binder, going, here, that guy. Oh, here's your thing. Can you sign these, please?
I never understood those guys. And we see them sometimes. And there's some guys who are, it's just different. But like when we do charity events with like alumni events, there are people there and they have their binders, and like, it's not even like there's a ton of huge names at some of these events, but they're just looking for autographs. It's just all the time. Like, that's why, you know what? Look, I'm glad we brought this up because, by the way, I think Ovechkin has said that he wants to find the 8 of 8. Like, he signed it, but he's like, whoever pulls the 8 of 8, like, I want to buy that because I guess he collects a little bit. So whoever pulls the 8 of 8, like the number 8 of 8 is going to be, that's going to be a pretty big card because Ovi's going to buy.
That's going to be like that race. There was a 1 of 1 Paul Skeens in whatever it was, like last year.
Like his 1 of 1 gold rookie or whatever. Like,
yeah. And everybody wanted it. And the Pirates said that they wanted it. And their offer was like, oh, we'll give you like club seats for life. They're 25 years behind the bench and autograph Skeens jersey and all this stuff. But the card itself was going to be in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe even more. And then some kid pulled it, which was hilarious, and then said, thank you for the offer. I live in San Diego. The season tickets probably don't really work for me. It's going to auction.
Yeah. No, but what was I going to say? So I watched a video because that Fanatic Fest. You saw the Fanatic Fest that they had, the big, huge Fanatic Fest?
Yes.
So there was a big card show there, obviously. And one of the guys that I follow on YouTube, he did an interview with a guy who had like the rarest Jaden Daniels card right now, like the highest priced one. And he sold it to the owner of the Commanders for $500,000. Yeah. Insane, right?
$500,000.
$500,000.
Hey, you got it. That is playing your card, excuse the pun, perfectly, because you've got this 1 of 1. Everybody wants it, but there's a unique, super, super rich people that do not care about, like, they have enough money, like it's insignificant to them. And then putting that together and making that happen. Hey, $500,000 for a freaking card. That is crazy. So this must have been some 1 of 1, like.
Yeah, it was an insane card. But yeah, he got $500,000 for it. So congrats. That's what I say. So I showed Tammy that video. I said, look, this guy just got $500,000 for a Jaden Daniels card. And you're telling me he can't be investment 2.0. Like, what are we What are we even
That
doing here?
Fanatics Fest was crazy. And you know what sort of took over, like dominated the entire thing? The WWE.
Okay, see, I don't follow a lot of WWE stuff, so it didn't pop up in my like For You feed. So did WWE take over?
The WWE was like a huge part of it because, I mean, listen, you can do, like all the experience things. Like, well, what are you going to do for a major league thing? I'll have a batting cage or something. You can see how far it is. They had a couple things where the guys were shooting pucks. But the WWE display or whatever, their activation, you could go in and you could do your own WWE entrance. So like they built the big thing, they would put the music on, and then you'd go out and do your thing. So people were doing that. The funniest one though was Tom Brady. Tom Brady did the WWE
I did see that
entrance. He spit on a Jets jersey and then lifted up an Eli Manning jersey and ripped it apart. And then Eli
come running
behind, came from behind and dumped on him. The Brady and Eli content, I always get such a kick out of. It's so hilarious that like Brady is the GOAT. He has all these rings, blah, blah, blah. And then Eli just shows up in the room and immediately dominates him because he beat him twice and he's 2-0 against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Was this the first ever Fanatics Fest? Because I don't remember this taking over.
It's growing. Yeah. It's like as Fanatics has basically bought up everything.
Yeah.
It's now, I mean, now that they're doing the jerseys, they're into cards, they're into like everything.
The who's who of sports were at this thing.
Oh,
right. Like LeBron and Brady were on the stage at the same time. Kevin Durant was doing an interview while he was being like, they just seemed like everybody was there, man. It was huge.
The funniest thing I saw from that. Okay, we all know the legendary story of Wade Boggs drinking, like, what was it, 73 beers on a cross-country flight from Boston to California back when he was playing. Some guys showed up at Fanatics Fest, and they had a custom-made rack of Miller Lights that was super long, and it had whatever the number was, 73 or however many beers he's reportedly drank on that flight. And it was called the Boggs pack or something.
Yeah.
And they brought it up and Wade Boggs signed this thing of 73 beers. And that's so there's a lot of creativity, but it does look like a cool thing. I mean, I can't handle crowds like that. I'm not going to be someone that's going to wait in line for 4 hours to get an autograph. But for the people that are in that industry or fans that are desperate for, one of their favorites, I mean, it seems like it's Comic-Con times, to the 10th power sort of thing. I mean, just the biggest names, the most people, a lot of really, really cool stuff. So when are we going to get a CFL Fanatics Fest?
Oh, man, any sort of thing like that would be pretty cool. I mean, even if they do a lot of stuff at Grey Cup now. Like Grey Cups have just gotten better and better and better. But like something like that at Grey Cup, where you're rolling out the biggest names in the league, and they're doing a couple interviews on stage, and now with the cards they've got going, I mean, it would be nice to take it to a little bit of another level.
What was that thing that they did like maybe 3-4 years, or maybe it was pre-pandemic? Like it was the off-season thing. Where
it was a tour where they brought a bunch of the biggest names in the league in. Almost for like a media sort of
CFL week, I think.
Yeah, CFL week. Yeah, I think that's what it was called.
I know they've done that in a couple spots. Anyways, that would be fun to see. Speaking of CFL, why don't we take a look at the early CFL? I mean, so far, and maybe this is because I do CFL 110 with Hamilton.
Yeah, on Tuesday, yeah.
On Tuesdays. I can't tell you how beneficial it has been this year jumping on the lines and getting bets in on Tuesdays before the lines move significantly. I mean, last week we were dealing with, I think we had both the Riders and the Bombers under 3 points, like at 2.5. And I think Montreal at 4.5. And by the time those games went off, Montreal was like a 7.5 point favorite. The Bombers were 5. We got a great numbers. So I think it does pay to sort of take a little look at these numbers early on and maybe get in if we like where they're going.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, the 6.5 on the BC Lions definitely seems like a no Rourke number. Because if Rourke is playing in that game, I imagine it probably moves down to somewhere between 3 and 4.5 at least. So that's one that I would definitely. I think it's worth a bit of a risk to get on the BC Lions at the plus 6.5. And it
That's
was
a good
it,
number. I hadn't seen anything that high.
Yeah,
I saw 5.5. I saw 6. So 6.5.
It was 6.5 yesterday. It was 6 this morning, but it's back to 6.5 again right now.
I like BC at 5.5. You can give me 6.5.
Yeah, I know.
No problem on that. Like, I think that they are going to do everything they can to get Rourke in. Like, whether it was precautionary, I mean, they said he was a game time decision. They wanted to give him a little bit of time, but man, this is a huge game for BC. Like, they've already lost the season series to Winnipeg, and the Bombers, if the Bombers beat the Elks, by the time that BC plays that game on Friday, on Saturday, Saskatchewan will be 3-0, the Bombers 3-0. And they've already lost the tiebreaker to Winnipeg as well, if they would be able to catch them. So, I mean, I know that, things sort of shake out late in the season, but if you fall too far behind two teams that get off to great starts that don't play each other until Labor Day, I mean, it could be a 3-horse race for that third spot in the West if they don't turn things around. I think they'll be a desperate team. I think they might get in there. And listen, Saskatchewan, full marks to them. They're 3-0, but they have sort of played down to their competition. I mean, like, they've had some closer games. Listen, I know they covered against the Argos last week, but let's not forget that they gave up a touchdown and a 2-point convert in the last minute and a half. So I think there's potential for backdoor cover. I think there's a potential for BC to win, to be perfectly honest with you, although I think I would take Saskatchewan on the money line, but I do like BC and the points in that one. Let me ask you this. What are you seeing for Winnipeg Edmonton?
Hey, just 1 sec. Zach, kill the Tecmo stream. The game's over. Kill the stream. I said this morning, both, who was I talking to today? I'm trying to think where I got, it must have been Eric this morning. I was like, but I think one of Hamilton or Edmonton's going to pull off an upset. Hamilton's at home against Montreal, easier to do. They're only 3-point dogs. But I think, and look, I mean, we've seen stranger things. I don't expect Edmonton to beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but something just tells me.
You're talking like money line or cover?
I think cover for sure for Edmonton. Like, I think that's possible. I mean, they could get blown out. But I think Hamilton could surprise Montreal. I think Hamilton. I think they could surprise them on the money line. It's plus 120 there. As far as the Elks and Bombers go, man, like we've talked about it a little bit here, or a lot here. They have, in order for Edmonton to have success, they have to be able to establish a running game. It's as simple as that. It opens up things for Trey Ford. You have to be able to establish the running game. Here's the issue: their offensive line has not been able to do that. It has not been able to really give Trey Ford too much time. David Beard, their starting center, who they just brought in, an all-star guy in this league, he's been placed on the 6th game. So they've moved Mark Cordy back over to center, which is fine. He played center last year and did a good job with it. But the Elks' offensive line being below average so far in the year, to me, sounds like an absolute recipe for disaster against a Blue Bombers defensive line that, I mean, I like who's been added to it. So I think it could be troublesome. I think the Elks O-line could end up sinking them in this football game.
Yeah,
Still, 9.5 is a huge number.
Yeah, 9.5 is a huge number. And Gussie, I mean, for people that have been paying attention, the favorites have been killing it. Like, much like we just said, all these lines that are opening at 2.5 or closing at 5 or 5.5, and the favorites are still covering. So I think this is, like, when we were talking yesterday, I was thinking that maybe this would be 7.5 or 8. But to come right out of the gate at 9.5 with the Bombers on the short week, I was a little surprised on it. I'm going to take Edmonton in the points in this one.
You think so?
Well, listen, I think Winnipeg will find a way to win the game. But whether it's a big-time fourth quarter garbage time run that almost got them the cover last week, I mean, that's certainly a scenario.
Yep.
Or just a game that, it's sort of field position. I mean, if the Edmonton defense can, like, I thought Zach had his moments and looked pretty good in his first game. But at the same time, I mean, they gave BC plenty of opportunities to get back into it, in it. And I do think that the offense is still going to be like a little bit of a work in progress. I love the defensive performance so far this year. But again, Trey is such an unique player to go up against. Like, I do think that there's the potential that he can break a few big runs, keep them on their field, pass. Like, I think they'll get some points in this game. So, like, to cover 10, like, double-digit win is a lot, even though people are just going to look at the records and say, oh, it's 2-0, 0-2, Bombers are at home. I expect the Elks to keep this one within single digits. So I'm going to take, I'm going to jump on Winnipeg or Edmonton, I should say, early at 9.
Now, as we talk about like early here, what do you think? Let's play this game. What do you think happens with the line between kickoff on Thursday? Think it kind of stays where it is because it's already pretty big, or do you think it actually moves a bit towards the Elks?
If this was like week 11 or week 12, I'd say, yeah, maybe it will work, get moved towards the Elks. But first of all, it's the first game of the week. So I think a lot of people that are very casual CFL bettors probably aren't even looking at this game until Thursday. Oh, there's a CFL game tonight. Oh, we better bet it. So I don't know if there'll be any big movements on it. I think we probably end up in between 9 and 10. But again, to get from 9.5 to 10 is another kind of big, like that half point is significant when you just talk about football and the numbers that often will come in. So I actually don't expect too much player movement in this unless we get some sort of news about, a major injury to a quarterback or one of the key players that maybe move the line a little bit. Interesting that this line, actually, yes, both the Elks and the Montreal Hamilton game has the lowest total of the week at 50.5. And, we were talking last week about, in particular, that Saskatchewan Toronto game, which ended up going over by plenty. And, I'm going to say, well, I mean, I still think that the Argos will be able to put up 17 or so. Do the Riders get 30? Probably. And then obviously they did that and then some, and then they got that late touchdown that put it over. But I could see this game actually being a lot more low scoring, like, something like 25-16 for the Bombers, where, they win by 9, so they don't cover the 9.5. And we do get the under. I think. And you know what?
And the Elks defense, we had Nick Anderson on our show this morning. The Elks defense is interesting to me because on paper they should be a really good defense. Like, they brought in a championship defensive line. They've got two of the best linebackers in the league. They've got Tyrell Ford at corner. They've got Royce Metier at safety, who I really like, but they have not been even remotely close defensively to what I thought they would be able to do. So, but a new defensive coordinator as well. Like, I could see them playing well enough to keep the offense within striking distance of covering the spread, but they have to be better defensively than they have been in the first two games. And they were awful defensively in the first two games, but I look at that defense on paper and go, this should be a pretty good defense. Like, this defensive line should be able to get pressure on the quarterback without having to bring blitzes. Like, it's a good group. So,
well, let's not forget, we're probably not going to have I highly doubt that there's going to be Brady Oliveira in this game. And listen, Matthew Paterson had that amazing first game and nice start, but kind of cooled off a little bit. Quentin Cooley, who looks like a hot water tank with legs.
Yeah, they used him sporadically in that game.
Yeah, he had 7 carries for 42 yards. And then Matthew had 11 for 42. But I guess my point is, if they're not running the football with great success, I think that plays into the Elks. I mean, listen, you want to stop. I think it was Suter that said it when you guys are doing the game. If you can't stop the run, you're not beating the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I mean, you really have to sort of start there. And listen, Zach threw a couple picks last week. I mean,
he wasn't perfect. Yeah, he wasn't perfect.
No, far from it. So I do think the Edmonton Elks can stay in this game and make it happen. The BC Saskatchewan game is fascinating to me though. Like your thought. Have you done a Rider game yet this year?
I have done one Rider game. It's funny because I went to prep last night and I brought up my Riders lineup, and I was like, oh yeah, I have already done a Riders game. So yeah, I've done a couple of BC games. I have done one Riders game. I did the Riders game in Toronto. No, not Toronto. The one before that in the Hammer. Yeah, I did that. Trevor Harris, Bo Levi, two guys, top 20 all time in yards. That was the game I did. Yeah. So I did it. I knew I did it out east. And they're good. I mean, it's funny because in their 3 games so far, you've had big game for Emilus, big game for Keyshawn Johnson, and then this last game, big game for Dante Myers. So Trevor Harris has been moving that ball around really well so far in the season. They obviously have a running game. They've got a few different options back there. And, I thought the Riders were going to be good this year. The Riders have kind of looked as I expected them to. And if they didn't lose Trevor Harris last year, I think they would have been a good team last year as well. So the whole, I mean, you can say this about a lot of quarterbacks around the league, and nothing against Jake Mayer, but Trevor Harris is just so good. I mean, he gets the ball and it's gone immediately.
Yep.
And even if Rourke plays in this game against BC, Rourke is that guy too. Like Rourke gets the ball and it's gone. I think they are the 2 best guys in the league at getting rid of the ball quickly. But I think Harris is actually better at it than Rourke as far as consistently getting rid of the ball right away. So I really hope. I mean, I'm biased because I'm calling this game, but I really hope Nathan Rourke plays because I want to see those 2 guys out there slinging it around.
Yeah, me too. And I really hope Nathan Rourke plays because whether you get him at 5.5 or 6 or 6.5,
it's a great number no matter what. If he's
in a great spot when he is there. Tell you what, I do have an upset of the week for you though. I'm taking the Argos.
Whoa,
in Ottawa. And listen, I don't think Chad Kelly's going to be back. I would love it if he was, at least for that pick. But I just have to think that with the way that Dinwiddie exploded after the game, making moves. I mean, this is going to be a team that is all business and playing with a real sense of desperation. And I think that Ottawa got maybe an unexpected win last week on the road in Calgary with Dustin Crum starting. Like, I do kind of think that Drew Brown's going to be back, but whether it's Arbuckle or preferably Chad Kelly, if you're betting the Argos, I expect the Argos to be, I don't think we're going to be talking about an 0-4 Argo team next week, despite the fact that they will be far from out. We saw what happened with the Bombers last year. But to me, it's time for the Argos to get down to business. And I give Ryan Dinwiddie a lot of rope as one of the real great coaches in this league. I think they find a way to win that. Like, I don't mind the 2.5, but if you can get the Argos on the money line at like plus 120, plus 125, I'm going to jump on that right now. But it's a fun week. And here's the other thing, Dusty, another reason why I think I kind of ended up on Edmonton and BC and the Argos. Favorites have been dominating so far.
You're thinking it's time to come around back to the mean here?
Sort of feel like it's coming back. And
well, what about Montreal as a 3-point favorite in the Hammer?
I like Montreal. I did see it earlier at -2.5 at -120. So basically it's going to be short
right in there, yeah.
Line at 3 or not. To me, I just think that there's a big gap between Montreal and teams like Hamilton right now. And listen, the Hammer, they've got great crowd support. I'm kind of with you that I think that they'll be energized. I just think that Montreal is just too good right now. And I mean, we've seen what they've done to their opponents so far this year. So I'm, until further notice, I'm riding with the Alouettes. And even if Davis Alexander doesn't play, I think the fact that MBT would presumably then get a week of work to practice. When we did CFL 110, Hammer described MBT when he came in as a little too horny. He just wanted to do everything at once at the same time. And I don't think that'll be the case if he does come in a starting position this week. So to me, Montreal, until further notice, is a team. If you're going to give us a reasonable line, and that certainly is one, I'm going to take Montreal. So early leans right now, Edmonton, Montreal, BC, and I am on the Argos at +2.5 or on the money line at +120.
Let's slide over to Major League Baseball. Let's put together a little double play. You grab a game, I'll grab a game. But I got to ask you, and following so last night, and it was really nice. So there's been so much hockey, and obviously I love the NBA, so I've been watching a ton of basketball, and then I'm gone, I'm doing CFL, and if I'm not calling CFL, I'm watching CFL, or we have kids sports. Tonight I'm coaching baseball. Last night, there's no kids events. There's no hockey. There's no anything on. The Jays weren't on because usually I just throw on the Jays game. So I flipped around through 3 baseball games last night. For the first time all baseball season. I was like, oh, yeah, watch this game for a bit, watch the Mariners game for a bit, watch the Yankees game for a bit, watch the Angels and Red Sox for a little bit. And so Marshall and I are watching the Mariners game, and all they're talking about is Cal Raleigh, their catcher, who's having that phenomenal season right now. And Mark, they just kept cutting back to him, and his nickname is the Big Dumper. He's got a huge ass.
I saw your post.
And I have to tell you, man, that is an all-time nickname. Like that is right up there. Like on the broadcast, they're like, all right, Big Dumper. And I'm just like, this is incredible. And he's having one of the best offensive seasons as a catcher, like ever. He's having an MVP caliber year. Marshall and I are watching it, and then Marshall went to have his bath. And sure enough, Raleigh hits a bomb while Marshall's in the tub. I was like, you missed it. Like they talked about the guy for 2 innings, and then he missed it. And then I watched the Sox and the Angels, the beginning of that game, because it was obviously a little bit of a later one. Boston goes up 3-0. They give the ball to Walker Buehler. He comes out, first pitch, gives up a home run, then goes on in the first inning to walk 4 guys and hit 2 other guys. Just a disastrous first inning after getting a 3-0 lead. So, but it was nice. It was nice to just sit down and kind of browse around. I wasn't going to watch the game from start to finish, but I checked in on 3 different games, and it was a lot of fun. So, anyway, one of my plays already today is on the Big Dumper to just have an RBI tonight. He's got 14 ribbies in his last 6 games for the Mariners. He's red hot. So I'm definitely on the Big Dumper. But what else do you like here?
What do we think about the Jays tonight in Cleveland?
Yeah, I'm on the Jays too. I got the Jays money line ticket already with Addison Barger having just a hit, I believe, in that one. So Eric Lauer looking good. He has he's got 4 starts right now. He's won his last 3. And going up against a Cleveland team that's been pretty mid so far. Jays have been amazing in the middle of the week too, for what that is worth. I mean, really? I did not know that. Yeah, they've been eating on like the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games, and their weekend record isn't quite what you'd like it to be. I am out on the stupid Yankees losing yesterday. I know, because we got that nice pick at -105 with the Cardinals. The Mariners won, and it was the 2 kind of favorites that we were looking at last night that didn't step up: the Yankees and the Padres. And the Padres too. So yeah, listen, I love the Blue Jays, and I think I will be taking them tonight. They're a slight road favorite in Cleveland, and I'm just going through my ESPN pitching matchups here. Spencer Strider is on the hill for the Braves. You love that guy. Crazy. He's 2-5 on the season, but he's got a sub-4 ERA, and they are favored. The Mets are in a bit of a bit of free fall right now. If you could tell by Frank the Tank's Twitter feed, they lost 7 in a row, won 1, and then lost 2 more. So they're 1-9 in their last 10 right now. And they are stumbling in a big way. So I would have some time for the Braves in that spot. Mariners Twins looks like it's a pick 'em. Castillo on the mound. He's got a much better ERA than C Paddock. What do we have here? Oh, and we got the Royals too. Ooh, I do like the Royals too. Chris Bubik pitching tonight for Kansas City. You got a 2.12 ERA?
Yeah, he's had a really, really nice start to the season. Hasn't had the run support all along that maybe he would have liked to have had, but he's certainly been getting the job done when he's been out there. So Royals, I mean, the ESPN number they have is -135. I don't know what we have on the on your side.
We got -139 right now, so pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something. I mean, we want to just go Jays Royals for
Jays
tonight,
Royals is just it's +201. I'll definitely get it boosted by the boys. I mean, that's
Do you have another game that you wanted to throw in?
I mean, I don't hate running back the Mariners again at -111. The Mets one's interesting. I mean, that's a team that, who'd you say they're 1-9 in their last 10?
Their last 10. They've been playing like garbage.
So before that, because they're 46-33, so they were like 45-26 or 25.
They were like tops in the league.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a little bit scared because there's a good team there, even if they've been playing that poorly. I mean, I'd be okay with just a little double play, a little 2-gamer. Jays and Royals, get it boosted up.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay away from that Braves Mets game now that you mention it. They do seem like they're going to be ready to go. The one other kind of game that I don't mind is the Cardinals again. McGreevy's on the pen. He's had a real night. I mean, he hasn't pitched a ton, but he's 1-1 with a 2.70 ERA. Last time out, pitched 5 innings, 3 hits, gave up 1 run. Definitely strikes a lot of guys out. And he's going up against who are the Cubs throwing out there today? I guess Jameson Talon is 7-4. He's been fine. He's coming off. He got roughed up big time against the Brewers in his last outing, but he'd won 4 in a row. But yeah, why don't you throw the double play up?
Yeah, we'll just do that. Let's do a little double play today.
Let me add another one in here. What do we got? Burgett.
I was looking at him again. Padres screwed us last night. But Burgett's got pretty good numbers. But I don't know.
I don't think the Padres lose back-to-back games. They're going up against Williams is 3-8 with a 5.5 ERA.
You want to do it, don't you?
If you wanted to, I will put this up to you. We're definitely riding with the Jays and the Royals. If you did want to add the Padres to it, I would be fine with it.
You know what? We will, because adding the Padres even at -189 takes it from +202 to +361 before a boost. So that's a pretty big number. And now, I was looking at Burger before you even brought it up. So, and I also did say this morning, we were saying, if you had to have a second team beyond the Blue Jays, I did say we went to some games in San Diego last year and I really enjoyed myself. So let's do it. Padres, Royals, Blue Jays, +361 pre-boost. I'm going to send that over to the crew.
I'm getting text messages from viewers and listeners. This is unrelated to our baseball chat.
Okay.
Did you see that the Vegas Golden Knights Twitter account just put out a tweet a couple hours ago that just said "Good morning" and a little wave?
Oh, get out of here! When did they do that last? Deadline day? Remember they did that on the deadline day, and we're like, "Oh, what are they up to?" And then they did nothing.
No, wasn't it the year before? And then they got hurdle like an hour after the deadline.
No, but I think they did it again this year.
They're probably just screwing with
I think that's their thing. So Jays money line, Padres money line, Royals money line, right? That's what we're doing. Okay,
exactly.
There we go. Okay, so are you like here in Edmonton? Everybody wants big stuff to happen. We got to get going here right away. I know you got WSD coming up, but are you expecting anything decent size happening from the Jets this week, or do they just go make their draft picks, reset for free agency next Tuesday?
Put it this way. I think there's a greater chance of that happening than in other years.
Okay.
Like, I know that they've signed Taves, which is a real nice addition. Everyone's fired up about that. But Adam Lowry's going to be out for the first couple months. He's having hip surgery. I mean, you wonder how long it'll take him to get back to, Adam Lowry levels. I wouldn't be surprised if they kick tires on some other centers. And listen, it's tough for them to get guys like, would they be in on Granlund? Maybe, for sure. But I do think that if there was a taker for someone that could come in and play potentially a second line center role, that the Jets would be willing to move their first round pick, albeit a late first rounder at 28th and maybe another prospect or something like that. So, you know, there is some intrigue around the Jets. They definitely have some needs, and that those needs go up significantly if Nikolai Ehlers takes his talents somewhere else, which as it stands right now is probably more likely than not. So it should be an interesting few days for the Jets. But as I say, when it comes to free agency, they're usually picking around the edges as far as going up to the top of the list. So it could be a trade if they're able to, because how many years have we been talking about the Jets looking to add to the center position at the deadline? How many first round picks have they gone? They could take care of that in advance with the pick that they didn't trade when Brock Nelson ended up going to Colorado instead of Winnipeg. I think it'd be something they'd like to do. So we'll see. What about the oil? I mean, is there a big intrigue?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, we'll see. Maybe they trade Arvidsson, but I don't think anything else really pops up this week. They got barely any picks. So
yeah, maybe
they can move Arvidsson for a pick or something, but we'll see. I want to get to this before we wrap. I was wondering, because the grandest yesterday, the grandest of parlays, the DGN Den throws that up over on our specials page, and they had a 40-1 baseball parlay essentially last night. And Surveyor Brett says the grandest parlay missed by only the Mets losing. It was 40-1. So Big Uke follows it up by says the Mets are on the shit list, a 1-month suspension. Eligible to be bet again July 24th, 2025. That was a monster ticket too. God.
Wow.
It was plus 39.95 or something like that. And the Mets losing blew it.
Do you know what else was on it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was a five gamer, including some parlays. Let me see. I thought I hit it. Yes. Oh, I did. I did hit it yesterday. Here it is. Or I was on it yesterday. Can I see who else was on it? I don't know. I can see that it had the Mariners on the money line. I think it was Pirates and Brewers over 8.5. I don't know who else was on that one, but yeah, I had $5 on it, but I can't see the rest of the bet there. So that sucks. Anyway, what's coming up at WST Hus? We'll let you get out here.
Yeah, well, we're going to be talking. Pagnotta's going to come on. I'll ask him what he thinks about many of the teams heading into the week. We'll talk a little draft. Brandon Rowicki's going to jump on with us. A little hoops talk with Joey Slattery. Connor Rabchak's going to pop on. We'll get a little bit of CFL talk. And then for all you CFL fans, 3 o'clock, 3:10, as soon as Winnipeg Sports Talk is over, latest episode of CFL 110 is
but between my drive to work tomorrow morning and then the drive to the airport tomorrow afternoon, that's usually the exact amount of time that I need to bang out the CFL 110 podcast. So here it is. I had it. You texted it to me yesterday. Mariners money line, Pittsburgh and the Brewers over 8.5, the Reds run line -1.5, Patrick Corbin over 4.5 Ks, and Mets money line. And it was the Mets money line that cost the boys. But we're so close. Let's run it back again, Grandis. Send something over. Send something over. All right, so that's going to do it. Huss, we'll let you slide out, buddy. Winnipeg Sports Talk coming up right away. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
You got it, pal. Take it
easy.
There
you go. Tomorrow, I'll be at Capilano Boston Pizza for the Log Shop. So if you want to swing on by, we can get after that tomorrow, which should be a lot of fun. We're going to be there for the Log Shop and the oil stream tomorrow. The parlay should be up shortly. Royals, Jays, Padres should be close to 4-1, I think. Dusty's play of the day is already up. Raleigh with an RBI, +102. And the early bird bet, Blue Jays money line, Addison Barger hit +157. Let's cash some baseball tickets. And Grandis, I got to ride with you again. I mean, the DGen Den, I'm going to be with you guys tonight. So send something juicy over and we'll get after that as well. All right, we're going to quick turnaround here. 2 guys in the goalie coming up right away with myself, Tommy, and Joaquin Gage. And we'll continue the search for a goaltender that may or may not be an upgrade. And they may not cost them a Stanley Cup. Who knows? We'll get into that. Thank you very much for watching. Best of luck tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow.